Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another motivational video. Today we're going to do something a little different. Spend the day with me in the kitchen as I do things around the house, cooking, cleaning, organizing, all kinds of things like that. I hope you guys enjoy the video. My husband's making an awful racket in the background. As you can see, I didn't get my dishes done yesterday. I got a huge mess. So it looks like we was running low on cereal this morning, so I ended up mixing our two favorite kinds, and it's not bad. I wanted to show you guys, oh gosh, cereal. It's new, I think, or it's new to us. It's the blueberry waffle cereal from Eggo, and I'm telling you, it's the best cereal. It's not real sweet. It's like the perfect, and we love anything blueberry here in this house. And it's almost like honeycomb cereal, but with a good blueberry flavor. So if you haven't tried it, I would definitely recommend to give it a go. What we like to do early in the mornings is we like to come out and water our tomato plants. We also water them in the evening because it's just been so hot here. It's before 9 o'clock here, and it's already like in the 80s, and it's already 90% humidity. Wanted to show you guys this beautiful flower that Jay got me a couple months. It's just absolutely flourishing. And then look at this one. And look, this one, we had a storm about a month ago, and the wind knocked it down, and it would have been as big as this one, but the wind knocked it down and broke it all and knocked it all out of the pot. So we just replanted what we could and hung it back up, and it is coming back and it is thriving, which I'm absolutely tickled about. They're so pretty. I don't know if you guys can see or not because of the sun. It's coming out, and there's my hens and chickens that my mama gave me. I absolutely love them. And then my rose bush is dying. Something's eating on it. So I got one tomato plant that is huge. It's as tall as I am, almost a little over 5 feet. And it is green, and it has a bajillion, like something pecked on that mater. But it has like so many little tomatoes. I don't know if you guys can see or not. I'm trying to get this with my cell phone, but anywho, we're proud of our little native plant. And then we got this one over here that's kind of sad looking. We are having trouble with what we call backer worms or tobacco worms or hornworms. We cannot keep them picked off this tomato plant. We do not want to put 7 dust or anything on it, like pesticides, if we don't have to. But if you know anything about tobacco worms or hornworms, whatever you want to call them, they're very hard to see, and they blend in, and they will just absolutely eat your tomato plant to death. I don't know if you guys can see like how that one has just been picked on. And they'll just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. So we come out here early in the morning. Usually they come out real early in the morning, and they come out in the evening. So I like to come out here and see if I can find any. And I try to get them picked off before they eat it. I have found like 7 or 8 of those worms on here. My husband has not found any. And I think that's so funny because you know how like men, our husbands, cannot seem to find anything? Like they open the fridge and like, I don't see it, I can't find it. And it's like literally in front of their face. But anywho, I just find that so funny. Whew, Lord have mercy, y'all. I wasn't outside probably 10-15 minutes and already had sweat on my brow and my armpits. I mean, it is so humid. My husband has decided that today has to be the day that he has to go and change oil in his truck, which I know that's important, but he planned on getting up and getting an earlier start than this morning. But it's like 9 o'clock, and it's like in the 90s already, 90% humidity and rising. He's going to his brother's house to get the oil changed in his truck because we don't have a garage, and he had 2 back surgeries last year, and it's kind of hard to roll around on the gravel with a bad back. And his brother's got a big concrete garage and one of those looks like skateboard or whatever they're called, where you just roll around on your back. So anywho, he's off doing that, so I'm gonna come in here and try to tackle this kitchen. My goal today is to get this kitchen cleaned up, to clean my refrigerator out, y'all. It's a shame. If my mama could only see this, she'd be so ashamed. So anywho, I'm gonna get that done. I got to wash my bedding because I try to wash it every week, and my lovely husband brought poison ivy home to me. He's not allergic to it. He can like lay down, roll around in it, and eat it, but he brings it home to me every single year. I always wind up with it, and I don't even go out in the woods or nothing. So anywho, I'm going to try to get that washed, and then I'm going to try to make a meal plan for this week, and then I'm going to work on my Kroger click list, especially after I go through my fridge and see what I have and what I don't have and what I need and what we want for this week. It's going to be another hot week, so I'm going to try to do like some simple meals that doesn't really involve much of the stove or the oven because it is so hot, and my husband works outside, so he doesn't really like a lot of hot foods in the summer. He likes something that's simple and easy and cool and light on the stomach. So I guess that's about all I have to say. So let's get started. So I wanted to show y'all this little doohickey here. If you're like me and you live in a mobile home, or I don't know if it's like this in regular houses, but there'd be a gap in between your stove and your countertop. And you don't want crumbs and stuff to fall down in there, because if you're like me, you're afraid of getting ants or bugs or critters, and plus it's just nasty. You buy one of these things at Lowe's, and it just goes right over there, and it catches all your crumbs and your spills and everything. I absolutely love it. If I can find a link below, I will. Guys, so let's tackle this kitchen table and get it wiped down. Oh, and then I'm gonna do the dreaded refrigerator clean out, which I'll be honest, my refrigerator hasn't been cleaned out in months. I don't like to do it, and I don't know, it kind of makes me nervous leaving the refrigerator door open because it takes me a while. I was gonna have my husband help me, but he's not gonna be here much today, and I really want to get it done. before I order my Kroger click list and see what all I do and don't need, because as you can see I have a tiny fridge and I don't have much room for storage. But it is going to be quite a bit of a task for me. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Tiffany and I do have Crohn's disease. So bending, squatting, sitting for like, I don't know, over 2 or 3 hours really causes havoc on my stomach and abdomen area, causes a lot of pain. So that's why I've been putting off the task for the refrigerator, because you do a lot of bending and squatting. So I just have to be careful, because if I overdo it, then I'm laid up for a couple days trying to recover. Oh, and that reminds me, because I was really wanting some coffee this morning, but coffee is like a no-no with Crohn's disease, because it's like a natural diuretic and I just don't need that. But every now and then, maybe once a month or something, twice a month, I allow myself to have a little bit of coffee, because I absolutely love coffee and I miss it so much. Coffee and cheese. But I have a hard time getting my liquids in, because I'm not like a natural drinker. I forget to drink. I don't get real thirsty, and then when I get thirsty I just don't think, oh, you need to get a drink, even if I have it sitting in front of me. So I have recently discovered these packs. Let me show you. Let's see if I can put them on the camera. Let me turn the camera around. Ooh, whatever, that's close. But anyway, it's these packs. Let me see if you can see. It's called Liquid IV. It's hydration packets. They're non-GMO. They're like electrolyte drink mixes. You just add 1 package of this to 16 ounces of water, and it is the equivalent of getting, like, even though you're just drinking 1 bottle of water, it's the equivalent of drinking 3 bottles of water. And I'm telling you, like, if you wake up and if you have a chronic illness to where, like, you know, like I said, I have Crohn's disease, and someday I just don't eat or drink hardly anything at all, and then the next day I feel it with like a headache, or I'm just kind of lethargic, whatever, from dehydration, I can just drink one of these and I can feel better like within 30 minutes to an hour. I can tell a huge difference. I just found mine on Amazon. I got the lemon lime flavor and I wished I didn't get it. I thought I would like it because when I do drink pop, Sprite is my absolute favorite. So I thought I would like it, but if you ever had to do like mag citrate for colonoscopy prep, that's exactly
Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys
it's really
enjoyed this
salty
video.
And really
have a good night.
lemony and lime, but I do notice like it doesn't really make a difference if it's really cold water or if it's just, you know, just average tap water. But if you mix it up and just let it sit for like a half an hour, it's not as strong, or like, I don't know, like as salty and strong, and I don't know, to me I can just get it down. But they have a lot of different other flavors, but this is the only one that I've tried. But if you have trouble getting your liquids in and trouble with dehydration, I would definitely recommend these. They're awesome. If I can find a link and figure out how to do that, I will leave you a link. So I decided to make me up one of these. My trick is to not put as much water in it, and that way you don't have as much to drink. And that way you can just kind of down it and get it over with. That way I will be good and hydrated for the day. And no, this is not sponsored. I just wanted to put it out there, hoping maybe it would help somebody else. Okay, y'all, so we're gonna get started on the fridge. I'm gonna try my best to get y'all some angles so you can see, but my fridge is located right beside our door, and I do live in a tiny place, so it's kind of hard to get very good angles on this. And plus I'm a fluffy girl, and it's hard for me to get angles and where my body ain't blocking the shot, so I'll do my best. And I wanted to ask, if you like the video so far, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not. It really means a lot to me. It lets me know that people are watching it and they like what they see, because without people liking, commenting, and subscribing, then there's no point in me doing the channel, because I really wanted to start this channel to help motivate other people that might be living with chronic illnesses, or even if you're not living with a chronic illness, to help motivate and inspire you. So yeah, if you like what you see, subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you. So here is the inside door, like where we usually put our condiments. And I'm sorry the lighting is bad, but again, I've got all of this over here, and then there's my fridge. Alright guys, real life. So I had to stop. I gotta take a 5-10 minute break because my stomach starts getting very sore. The only way I can explain it is it feels like I've done like 1,000 sit-ups. So I've learned to not overdo, and just to lay, I get best relief when I lay flat on my back. Sometimes I have to put a heating pad on. So I'm gonna take a 5-10 minute break, and then I've got the refrigerator cleaned out. I just have to put everything back in it, wipe stuff off and put it back in it and organize it. And that's it, everybody. I got it cleaned out, got everything put back in. I feel so much better. This was not as hard. It did not take as long as I was afraid. So I got my table cleaned off. Now I'm just going to wash these dishes that I emptied out of the refrigerator, and then there's probably scraps over here. We have a little quote-unquote pet possum that likes to come out. We call him George Jones. So anytime we have scraps or tater peelings or anything like that, my husband takes them out in the field, and we like to feed old George Jones and hopefully make his day happy. Alright, I got some more dishes piled up there for Mr. Smedley. Won't he be thrilled when he gets home? So in the midst of doing all this cleaning and stuff, I totally forgot to lay out meats for today. I usually lay them out in the morning, like I just throw them in the sink. And then by the time supper comes around, they're thawed out. But I forgot about that today. But I am getting a little bit hungry because all I had this morning was a little bowl of cereal. So I'm going to try to find me something for lunch. And then I'm going to lay out something for supper tonight. Jay's still not home. He's still out doing whatever he's doing. So let me see what I can find. So what I think I'm going to do for supper tonight, since we didn't get to have our good old sausage gravy and biscuits this morning for breakfast because I forgot to lay the sausage out. I'm going to lay the sausage out now, and then we love to have breakfast for supper like all the time. So I think I'm going to make biscuits and gravy and maybe some fried taters for supper tonight. Hey y'all, so what I decided is I'm going to have one of my favorite things to eat is this lemon pepper tuna. Sometimes I just eat it plain out of the pack because it's really good. But today I think I'm going to mix it up with some mayonnaise, have it with some crackers, throw some olives on the side and some fruit, and call it a win. My hands after getting the tuna ready, I saw one of my other buddies. We got this deer that comes through here every day. I absolutely love where I live. Hey guys, so for tonight for supper we're going to have biscuits and gravy. I'm going to make my homemade dairy-free biscuits, and Jason's using up these frozen biscuits that's in the freezer because we need to use them up. So in order to make like dairy-free biscuits or anything like that, you can just use a good old box of Bisquick. It happens to be dairy-free, all the ingredients, and it happens to be vegan as well. So if you need to make anything from pancakes to waffles to use it as a batter, you can just use Bisquick. It has everything in it that you already need. And there's just a recipe here on the side that I always use for the biscuits. But I'm going to be halving that or less because it's just going to be me eating the biscuits. Okay, so I got them mixed up, and then what I'm going to do, since I'm just going to be crumbling these up in my gravy, I'm just going to do simple drop biscuits. I like to use my ice cream scoop, and I scoop me some on, and then I'm just going to plop them down on my baking pan. So we still got plenty of biscuits, as you can see, so hopefully we'll have leftovers for tomorrow. Okay guys, so I got about a ½ pound of sausage cooked up and browned. Now I'm going to take the sausage out of the pan. Some people can go ahead and make the gravy in the pan, but I like to take the sausage out because I find my gravy is less lumpy. Okay, so I got my sausage out of the pan. So here's our grease. I hope you all can see that. So the secret of making any kind of gravy or roux, whatever you want to call it, is you want the same amount of fat, which is oil or butter, as to flour. So if you have 2 tablespoons of oil or fat, then you want 2 tablespoons of flour. I've made this so much, if you wanted to get technical, you can take this out of the pan and measure it to know exactly, but I'm just going to eyeball it. You want to make sure that you cook the the flour mixture until you cook the flour taste out of it. I hope you guys can hear me because my air conditioner decided to kick on. Washer's spinning out. Husband's talking in the background. Somewhere a little bit more. All-purpose flour. And then I'm just going to add my oat milk. You can use any kind of milk. Start putting it in there, and you just want to keep your mixture moving around in your pan so you don't scorch or burn it. You can use a whisk if you want, but I like to use a good old wooden spoon. I find that's the best. I just wanted to add, while you're thickening your gravy up, you want to turn your heat up on your pan to about medium-high heat, and then as you can see, it's starting to thicken up really good. So I'm going to add just a little more milk to it. And keep mixing, and now you can add your salt and pepper. Just remember, without salt and pepper, this would be a pretty plain gravy, so it takes a lot of salt and a lot of pepper to make it delicious. If you like your gravy real thick, you could probably stop now and just let it thicken, or if you like it on the thinner side and maybe you need to stretch your milk or stretch your dollar, you can leave it thin and it would still be just as good. I've also used half milk and half water before when I was running low on milk, and it turned out just fine. ideal pan to use by making gravy the best is a cast iron skillet, but I don't have mine with me right now because mine are in storage still from our move. But if you have a cast iron skillet, I would definitely recommend using that. Now that the gravy is boiling good and it's thickening up, I'm gonna have to be brave here, and you're gonna have to give it a little bit of a taste test just to check the seasonings. Let me do that. And I still think it needs more salt and pepper. So I'm gonna add a little bit more salt and a little bit more pepper, which we use just the mild sausage. So if you use a hot or spicy sausage, you probably won't need as much pepper. So now we're gonna add in our sausage. Now that we got our sausage added to the gravy, this is what it looks like. I turned my gravy down to about 4 or 5. My biscuits are about ready, and that way it continue to thicken and the sausage will flavor the gravy even more. Okay guys, I got the biscuits out of the oven, almost burn them. They got a little bit brown on top. The gravy's done, and then I'll show you how we like to eat this. So I've decided to whip me up a little bit of coffee, so I just put some of my oat milk in there, and then I use this Cleanin, or however you say it, vanilla syrup, and I just put a few glugs of that in there. And I have one of these like battery operated whisks, and I just like to put that in there, and it kind of whisks it up and makes it a little bit frothy. Makes me feel like I'm having something fancy even though I'm not. I like using this instead of buying those awesome flavorful coffee creamers because most of them aren't dairy free. A lot of them are lactose free, but lactose free is different from dairy free, so I can't have those. So I just make this own concoction up here, and I like it pretty good. And then I just pour my coffee in and whisk it all together. Guys, this is our final plate. We like to have ours with a side of tomato. I wish these were homegrown tomatoes, but ours is not ready yet. I got my coffee, and you probably noticed, yes, my coffee is weak because I can't handle much. But I just like coffee with breakfast. Hey guys, so I decided to make my mama's blueberry squares. I've never made this before, and she sent me the recipe. So let's see how this turns out. I'm kind of skeptical because there's no like really wet ingredients besides like your melted butter and eggs. So apparently it's supposed to be like a thick bread, like blueberry loaf. So anyways, we'll see. Put the recipe down below. But you need butter, eggs, salt, vanilla, sugar, brown sugar, baking soda, all-purpose flour, blueberries, and some lemon juice. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so this is what it looked like when it came out of the oven. I'll let it cool a bit and give it a taste test. Okay guys, the verdict on the blueberry squares is they're really good and tasty, except I'm not a real big fan of that crunch that's on the top of it with the brown sugar. To me personally, I would rather just mix the brown sugar in with the mixture because it wasn't real sweet. It's more, like I said, a muffin taste and texture, and I have a sweet tooth, so I would rather just mix that brown sugar in it and then just bake it as it is, and then maybe put like a lemon powdered sugar glaze on top. My husband tasted it and he liked it as it is. So I guess it's just whatever your preference is if you like that crunchy things. But I don't like very many things baked to be crunchy. Like I don't like crunchy cookies. I don't like crunchy brownies or anything like that. I like everything soft and chewy.